Ninjani? Hey, yazi bamnandi kanjani bambona abantu abaningi kangaka. Phela thina hlezi thulekile la kungenabantu. Kodwa nevertheless siyabonga osukwini lanamhlanje ukuthi siluze lafika. Sibonge naNkulunkulu ukuthi ukwazile ukuthi asihlanganise sisonke. Yimi ke usamkelisiwe uMzobe Isibongo, the co-founder of WAIII Unit as well as the co-director. Indaba ye-speech contest, we started it like way back, I can say that. Reason being, ukuthi size siqale i-company, we've seen ukuthi esikhathini esiningi we don't take education very seriously. The moment kids are trying to reach out and express themselves, we as parents, we are dragging them down. And we normally tell them that, okay, what is it that you can do because you are already a failure? So what am I in it? Decided that, okay, since parents are not so strong enough towards their kids, let's become the second parents of your children. So that your children can be motivated, your children can have that self-esteem within themselves. Esikhathini sami namhlanje akukho mnandi mawuthi ubona abantwana kumele afunde iline encwadini uthola ukuthi kunzima ngisho ukupronounce that. Simple that akakhona ukupronounce. So we are here for that. We started a company because of that. We cared so much about your children. Your children are our children. So that is why today we are gathered here together. Ukuthi abantwana bethu bakhona ukuzi-expressa, bakhona ukususa lawo mahloni, because these children are our future leaders. Sesikhathele ukuthi every time when we watch TV we see the members of the parliaments being old people. We need these kids to be there. We need them to be in those department chairs. If ever we need them to be there, they have to start here. Learn how to talk. Learn how to use good words. So as for today, you guys are awesome. I love you a lot. I wish you all the best on whatever that you are going to be doing. And the parents, with the teachers, the principals, the audience, thank you so much for your support.
Oh yes, do I need a mic? I'll use it for today. That was Usamgelisiwe, our director, the brain behind speech contest. Nevertheless, I don't know what to say. And these in front of me, these are people we grew up with, you know. As much as they are older, but we did the same thing together. Public speaking, Mr. Sekhane is here. He has caused many things. I don't know what's the right word to use now. But he has motivated and enriched many people, right? Then we have Mr. Zenzilarans. Mr. Zenzilarans, when we first met with Toastmasters. You know, you Google Toastmasters, you see what that is the biggest brand internationally. That grooms people onto knowing how to speak and it. Marana, here's my question. What is the difference between speaking and talking? You know? This is a question I still ask till today. Am I talking right now or am I speaking? Where are the learners? So guys, what am I doing? I'm doing both. But I still want to one, you know. But nevertheless, guys, we are starting. Are we ready?
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. My name is Ruhana. My surname is Kanye. I am in grade 5A and I am from Pagamani Educational Center Primary School. The title of my speech is, this is my message to you. My message to the youth. Clearly, we are the youth of today and the future of tomorrow's nation. Youth, we are the fountainhead of exuberant energy and dynamism. It is us youth who is going to take forward the legacy of our country and will help us gain new heights of growth. But if that very youth becomes corrupted, the fate of that nation is bound to be darkness. Such a nation cannot progress. Therefore, it is very important to take the unbabble of our youth and give right direction. Our mentors or teachers, they are responsible of shaping our future and make it bright and beautiful, because it is our bright future that will pave the way to the nation. Let's work hard today. We'll not go to waste the challenges we are facing at the moment. Crime, drugs, violence, child abuse, and poverty will appear small today and will become better tomorrow. Youth, we are the sunrise. Education is the key to success and way out from poverty.
Good day, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Samgalsu and my surname is Manoj. Today I'm going to tell you my message. This is my message to you. My message to you is that many young learners, many young people don't finish school. Others they smoke, drink alcohol, smoke drugs. Others even have a child but not finish school or matric. Others they wear school uniform from their homes and tell their parents or guardian that they are going to school but go to other workplaces but not go to school and come back home. If they come back later, they will say they're from the study session. Others they date older men than them, which they call them blessers. The older men give them money and buy them nice clothes. But they don't know that education comes first. That's why they say education is a key to success. Because that key can open your doors. You can be a businesswoman or businessman, or you can find a better job who will put food on the table for you and for your family. Please, you as a parent, please sign your daughter's or son's book and go to school and ask teachers how your son's going. Thank you.
That was our first category, right? The grade 5 category. I hope my judges have got that in the record. We're moving on. I hope we had... guys, feel free to bring in the 11 official South African languages. You are not compelled to deliver your speech in English. Because you'll go to somewhere, you'll go to the community, then what? You've mastered English, you can relate to your own people in your own language. Speak to the man in a language that he understands, you get to him. But speak in a language that he knows, then you reach through to him, guys. So let us not forget that. Now we're moving on. As I said, I hope I said it, Tini. You'll be motivated, intrigued, inspired, but most of all, we will learn today. So now I'd like to call upon my colleague, a person who's pushed me today to be where I am. Now, which I can speak in front of people, I can look you in the eyes without any fear. I'm sorry, Lord. That is me. But there's a person I look up to, the person who's pushed me to this point. He has been a friend, we've pushed each other, we've competed in doing speeches, and today here we are, both of us, today we're public speakers. Today, I can't call myself a public speaker, but for me standing in front of you, I want you guys to decide what am I a public speaker? Because there was a learner I heard, she said, she's a phenomenal speaker. Yeah. There are those people who give themselves credit. It's good. It's good. Because you don't have to wait for someone to tell you which you are good at. So when you tell yourself you are good enough, then to the world you'll be the best thing that has ever happened. So with a warm round of applause, can we welcome Buleng William Sekhenwe.
Okay, as I said, my name is Buleng William Sekhenwe. I was saying Buleng when it's come to Bapedi is for guys, not for ladies, please. Please, I've been saying that for some time now. Okay, as they say, I'm a public speaker and I've been doing this for some time, and I must say I really appreciate what I'm seeing currently, because my journey started somewhere here. And just to say some few words to the guys, my first speech I spoke about 15 seconds and I sat down. I said, my name is Buleng William Sekhenwe. Thank you. I sat down. And Mesulu was laughing that day because we're in the same group. But today I'm proud to say to you, I can speak more than an hour. I've been in one of the corporate international speech contests, and I'm proud I went there. I participated. At the first round I won. I went to the division competition. I didn't win there, but one thing I learned, I tried. I give it my all. It's not a matter of winning or losing. It's following your purpose basically. Because I can say one of my purpose as a person is to heal people. How I heal those people? Through public speaking. I have done a lot. I run a book club within my community. I run my own NPO. I work with Mr. Rents. We travel a lot. I speak to a lot of people. Maybe if I say less during a week, I spoke about 2 times or 3 times. So on my daily basis, I speak. That's my core business, if I may put it down that way. So one thing I'm going to tell you guys, and parents, I will start with the parents. Parents, please, and I plead with you, support your children. Because we are living in an era where our parents are dictating what the children they want to do with their lives. If you want to how about doctor, because no, it doesn't work like that. Because I always tell my mom, gone are those days where we play the influence somebody or by it. It's about high time, but so if you're about activist, what so look at the bigger picture basically. So one thing to keep like about Gore, if we can follow the principles that Ubuntu, to the beginning, everything will be fine. If we can align our purposes according to Ubuntu principles, everything will go fine in this country. Regards only corruption in South Africa. Because I can say we have lost that essence of Ubuntu within us. So it's about time we go back to that concept. Because so if you can acknowledge that part, we'll go far. So, I always tell you, acknowledge your parents, respect them. It doesn't mean if about training or public speaker, whenever more our discipline, no, I know my rights. Yes, you know your rights, but not towards your parents. Respect them. As much as you know your rights, respect them, acknowledge them. Recently, most of the youth are passing away. So according to my observation, we don't respect our parents anymore. And they don't give us blessings. A blessing from your parents is very imperative. I'm sorry to tell you that, but it's very important. You have to acknowledge your parents each and every day. And the last thing, whenever your parents or anyone, especially your elders, how it is something, say thank you.
Greeting fellow learners and teachers, I am Swangile Songwan. Firstly, I would like to thank the opportunity given to present the speech. The world needs creative, caring, and respecting human beings, and I am one of them. That is why the world needs me the most. I want to bring change to the problems that the world is facing, such as eradicating poverty and raise awareness about effects of fighting. Fighting can cause problems such as killing, stabbing, and you can be a man because of fighting. I want to be a better person by making the world a better place and influence others to do good. I want to be the change. I want to see in the world becoming a world. I want to be the change. I want to be the change. I want to see in making the world a better place. I have the potential to come up with good ideas and the skills that will help the world become a better place for me and for the future generation. And that is why the world needs me the most. Thank you.
Yes, that's why the world needs it the most. And I'm gonna talk. Yes, the other guy. Can we also have Lindo Gutla Monyai?
The world needs me the most. There was Nelson Mandela, the freedom fighter. There was Thabo Mbeki, the giver of so many rights. There was Jacob Zuma, who was given all sorts of names. And there is me, Ndugul Munyai. Who grew up in a society that have forced me to be a man, rather than being a child on my own age. Lies after lies, manipulation after manipulation, corruption after corruption. Is turned into a norm that of South Africans. Promises which are made 20 years ago are still not fulfilled. The promise of new house to everyone and the better life for all. Where is that? Our own people have been striking for our own for the same things. Many unnecessary rights. Children are becoming mothers and fathers. Alcohol has become a fashion while destroying our lives with given rights. Being offered a job in exchange of sexual activities. Where is the truth in that? Said reality indeed. As a young man who have seen a weakness, let us be an upcoming generation, change the knots and make them vanish, and make our community the better place to be, and for all by making education the key to success. Thank you.
My comments. You know, all these guys have touched on, as I know they're still the last speaker, they're touching on serious issues, parents. I hope you are listening to that. These are issues which are experienced also by kids. If ever they can see that, it means it is time for us to stop it. Because one girl is in there, they are being done by us. They see it through from our households, their homes and all that. So I think it's enough. Right. These guys, I want to hear these guys talking about them being presidents, them being managers and lawyers and all that, but now they're bringing sensitive issues. When there is a sensitive issue coming up, then it means what? There is a problem at hand against parents. So I think it's something that we need to look into. Then the last speaker in this category, can we have Avela? Warm round of applause.
Greetings to the house at the largest capacity. My name is Avela Ndaleni and I'm coming from the Bookseekers. If you know what I'm going to deliver you today, I'm going to tell you that the world needs me the most. As the perfect doctor, I know many people die from HIV and AIDS, and that makes my heart broken. Everyone here knows that our mothers, fathers, brothers and sisters are dead because of this HIV and AIDS. And that hurts me. I've told my mother about these viruses, and he said, what can I do to be popular? I told him, Mom, my granny is died because these viruses. And I'm tired of seeing the South African dying for these viruses. I am Avela Ndaleni, and I'm going to end this HIV and AIDS. I know that HIV and AIDS can be cured, but in my lifetime, I know that HIV and AIDS, I can cure HIV and AIDS. Even though most of people here can't believe me, but I know I'm going to prove that. By doing this thing, I will show that my fellow South Africans need these medications to cure HIV and AIDS. Many children don't have their mothers and fathers because of this HIV and AIDS. And that hurts me. It hurts me see the children, many children of them coming from the same family, sitting around, looking for food. And I'm one of them children. I'm going to tell you today that HIV and AIDS, I'm going to cure those viruses. When I grow up, I'm going to make a hospital where all these fellow South Africans will be there to be cured HIV and AIDS. Thank you for the opportunity you gave me to talk this to you. Thank you.
Masbia! Pakisa! Khathi yathi kutotetsa mohaka manje futhi mina ngenzeni batla wena Wanak, Lemamet, then from Tulau. Backyard, I'm the head of this house.
Can't they lynch it?
What's my king? Can you pull out, man?
Ha, Baba, we are Bulala.
I will not take ya. We first got this Sagatama. So what's a hoodie more? Can you pull out?
Hey, you can't come to my house. But putting them 7 in a banana motor, but putting them blood, my son is done up.
Can you pull out?
Unumzan,
Manching lad.
when's our dinner?
I want to get a play.
I won't want to touch into Musel.
What's about the pep so goja?
Uncle, often Nugus Bulat.
And look on no ma when I get it a government, the Nike government, get them side, get in the back. When I 20.
Yes, in your party, I'm Sandra, my train or heart.
Yes, now we're moving. Now my heart is down, and you'll forgive me. Is this sound? I know, now my heart is down. Okay, what are you polite? What are you polite? I hope you're listening, guys. There are different issues coming this side, and there's different issues of suicide on the other plane. These are things which are happening on a day-to-day basis. But we're moving on. The guys, they say they want their chance, they want those trophies, the medals and all that. Mara Sophia, I hope my judges are okay now. Are we ready? Yes. Can we have Jemima Chibambe with a warm round of applause?
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. My name is Jemima Chibumbe. I am in grade 7A at Paramani Educational Center. The title of my speech is called The Greatest Moment Will Be. The greatest moment will be the day I will be called at a university podium to receive my care for professorship. This is the day and moment I will take home. This will be the greatest moment because it will be a moment to reconcile and get honor for all my hard work. My greatest moment will open doors of a good career. However, it will also open doors for me to become an entrepreneur. Africa needs young business people like me. Do you understand? Yes, thank you for understanding. I will stand among the young and encourage them. Our communities are really ill. Early teenage pregnancies, substance abuse, rape, and theft. South Africa needs to give birth to young leaders who are ready to empower the emancipation of our generation. Ladies and gentlemen, my greatest moment is yet to come. Wait and see. Thank you.
Can we have Bonyi Weko? Bushe Zondi. The next speaker.
Before I begin, I would like to pass my greetings to the adjudicator, timekeeper, my fellow team in the House of Lunch. I go by the name of Bushe, and today I'll be rendering a speech for you. The topic is, the world must see this. I chose technology because it is one of the things that has improved at higher levels so far. Take, for example, electricity. Before, we'd use fireplaces for cooking, boiling water, and warming ourselves. But now, we have heaters and stoves for all of that. We'd go to the rivers to fetch water. But now, we have taps in our yards. And it's all thanks to the technologists. As for transport, we use animals such as donkeys and horses. But now we have cars that have bigger engines. And it's all thanks to the technologists for their inventions. I thank you all in the presence.
Now that I've established the deeper meaning, I am going to interpret my perception of this quote. I feel the pen is associated with words. Words are powerful because they have the ability to inspire us or to bring us to tears. It builds character. I am a strong believer that if you cannot say something nice, it is best to remain silent. Words make me think of literature, for which I have a great passion for indeed. My parents encouraged reading. I remember from the time I was yay high, my mother would practically stack up on books. My father always tells me that by reading, I will have the most wonderful, joyous, and endless experiences ever thought possible, such as traveling the world, dancing with the most handsome and charming of princes, or even having tea and crumpets with the queen. I never could comprehend how this was possible. At first, it sounded absolutely ludicrous. But then when I think of all the beloved favorites like Sleeping Beauty, Cinderella, Rumpelstiltskin, those are the timeless classics from our childhood that will forever remain with us. My personal favorite was Beauty and the Beast Belle, because she too believed in the importance of reading. Reading enables you to have countless experiences and to explore different types of characters. George Martin once said that a reader lives 1,000 lives before they die, and the person who never reads is doomed to only live one. Reading provides me with peace and comfort when I need it the most. It gives me the chance to escape basic reality, people with the same mentality, and the norms of our everyday society. But most importantly, reading provides me with a little something called hope. Hope that all those fairy tales like the happily ever after are possible. Hope that the world isn't always this dark and brutal place. Hope that there are some really good-hearted people still out there. Roald Dahl once said that a writer's only compensation is freedom and that they shall forever remain master of their own soul. Writing gives you an opportunity to express yourself in all your emotions. So rather than using violence to express anger, it can be expressed in a much more dignified manner. It is so creative and innovative. In my opinion, writers are far more superior than the mighty warriors from the war times. Because of my true love and my greatest passion, I have come to a realization that my aspiration in life shall be to become a writer and later start a publishing company of my very own. I want to become a rival to my fellow idols, to provide the generation of tomorrow with the same pleasures the generation of yesterday have provided me with. In conclusion, I would like to thank my amazing family for making sure reading time was non-negotiable. No amount of words in any amount of books could ever express my gratitude towards them. I also would like to thank all the lovely and supportive educators who motivate us on a daily basis. Nelson Mandela and Mahatma Gandhi, who taught us knowledge is power and who still continue to inspire us. Although I probably owe the biggest thanks of all to all the great authors who dedicate themselves to the art of writing. They do not get enough recognition for all their efforts. I just wanted to say how eternally grateful I am to all of them. I plan to live my life according to the same standards and principles that they have loved theirs. And this is how the quote, "The pen is mightier than the sword," has impacted me and my life. Thank you.
Followed, can we have Ali Junior Ali? With a warm round of applause.
Good day, ladies and gentlemen. basically to all this union that's present today. My name is Ali, and I'm here to give a speech about the pen was mightier than the sword. Everyone knows that the sword is a weapon with a sharp edge, but the pen is a writing instrument with no edge. But the power of the pen is extremely greater than a sword. What the sharp edge of a sword can achieve can easily be achieved with the help of a tiny tip of a pen. Many people may be wondering and taken aback, how can this be possible? Whereby the pen can be chopped by a sword within seconds. But people, these two objects are used in different ways. The sword is used or was used for violence and bringing trauma to these innocent and struggling people who need the pen to get along and better in life, that is education. As Nelson Mandela said, the great freedom fighter who fought for apartheid, that is equality and fairness. He always wanted equality amongst people. He said, education is the great engine of personal development. It is through education that a daughter of a peasant can become a doctor. And a son of a mine worker can become the head of the mine, and the son of a farmer can become the president of the great nation. It is what we make out of what we have, not what we are given that separates one person from the other. That is you and me. Those are the wise and beautiful words of the great freedom fighter that is Nelson Mandela. In those days, education was important, and an individual who was educated was also high in status. But in today's time, violence is what's high in status and important. This all brings it to say, learning is more important than violence. Violence won't get you anywhere except behind bars, that is jail. People think violence is the solution to poverty, but it is not. You cannot live your life with doing wrong, that is violence. But in today's time, people kill others just because of money and because of their own belongings. And those who struggle and who are still struggling for education mean nothing in the present days. I mean, why must a person who has done a crime, example, for killing a person, still left to go free and living a fancy and good life out there? That's what's killing South Africa. Our leaders are leaving guilty people to go free. All in the name of what? Fame and money. People say money talk, but why must the money talk in a wrong way and affect other people that need it desperately to better themselves and their lives? Basically, this is what South Africa and our country is facing. Our country is facing corruption. And as you can look at the word corruption, it's not just a word. It's what's killing us and our leaders. Our own leaders are corrupt, so how will things be alright if they are corrupt? That's why, hence I say, do not underestimate the ability and power of small things such as the pen. It can have a huge impact in other times. As Francis Drake said, not the singer, seek parvis magna, meaning greatness from small beginnings. The pen being mightier than the sword emphasized words of violence, that is education. My words to you is, do not undervalue the power of small things such as the pen. It can have a huge impact on society and people as a whole, an impact that even a mighty thing like a sword cannot achieve. That's where I end. Together we stand, divided we fall as a nation. I appreciate your presence, I appreciate your attention, and most dearly, I appreciate your support to this beautiful event. This is where it starts, by you willing and having a positive brain to change the world. I'm out.
Good afternoon to one and all. Then there was blood. Have you ever imagined the dramatic and overwhelming turn South African politics could take? We currently have a government that is riddled with corruption and inconsistency. There are constantly and continuously community protests. The South African government keeps on making promises it does not and cannot keep. For years, tertiary students have been adamant in their fight for free education. For years, South Africans have been adamant in their fight for land that was dispossessed during the apartheid era. The government has so far made a promise for free education, which is yet to become a reality. There have been promising announcements for land expropriation without compensation, which is also yet to become a reality. With sharp-tongued, baying for blood, and already disgruntled citizens who turn to extreme violence as a solution to unattended grievances, what would become of South Africa if all these promises were not kept? History has proven, in Africa specifically, that government regimes that fail to bring about the desired and promised change are usually overthrown violently by the citizens, military, or opposition parties in coups and revolutions. Look at the South Sudanese Civil War 2013. A coup attempt resulted in a civil war breaking out which killed an estimated 300,000 people. Then there was blood. The Ethiopian Civil War from 1974 to 1991. A coup was staged to dethrone the emperor in a war that lasted for more than 16 years, and killings estimated at a staggering 1.4 million body count. Then there was blood. Another example is Uganda's former late president Milton Obote, whose government regime in the country resulted in a general decline in the standard of living, with widespread corruption, terrorism, and persecution of minorities. This led to the coup in 1971 by General Idi Amin. Extreme violence and conflict ensued, and thousands of people were murdered. Then there was blood. South Africa could also be heading down the same path, as it shares a lot of similarities with overthrown governments. There has only been one ruling party since the beginning of the democratic dispensation. There is escalating corruption in every part of government, whether small or large. Opposition parties and citizens have displayed signs of violent behavior, which suggests that a coup is not a far-fetched possibility. When facing service delivery issues, South Africans turn to violent protests which result in looting, damage to property, and clashes with law enforcement, which in some cases lead to blood being shed. The opposition parties have said before that they are willing to, and I quote, remove the government through the barrel of a gun, close quotes. With the amount of supporters opposition parties have, a coup would not be ultimately impossible. If a coup took place in South Africa, a country with a large population, above 50 million people, it would result in a major loss of lives which could escalate into thousands or even millions. This would result in historians telling stories about South Africa ending in the words, "Then there was blood." Thank you.
Bad stuff always happen in Africa on the why. Alien. But it's really changed. All these negative things only happen in Africa. What says the story? Maybe you guys have an answer. We're moving on. Can we call upon Michaela with a warm round of applause?
If I was a queen, I'd greet my kingdom. If I was a president, I'd greet my country. If I was in the army, I'd salute my soldiers. But I greet you all as a learner from Fredoman Secondary School. My name is Michaela Manis, and today I will be speaking about blood. Did you know? Every human spent at least 30 minutes being one single cell. The cell eventually went through a process called growth, and there was a complex solution that was created. Scientists discovered a sticky dark red opaque fluid with a salty flavor in the entire body. In other words, it was blood. The only connective tissue in the body that contains no fibers. There is something very peculiar about blood. It is illustrated into different blood groups, whether it is an A, B, AB, or O blood group. Stem cell researchers concluded that blood transfusions were legal, and it may very well be that it can save the lives of Homo sapiens suffering from diseases such as leukemia, diabetes, and Alzheimer's. Blood plays an important role in the creation of a new life, whereby the genetically identical replica of a molecule is cloned and a cell or entire organism is formed. But did you know that blood is dangerous? It can hurt, kill, or infect you. Who assumes responsibility for a newly infected person suffering from the main disease, such as HIV and AIDS? Who takes the blame? Do we point fingers at parents, peers, or do we magnify ill parenting and maltreatment within households? What makes people seemingly unaware of the intersections that lead to blood impurities? I do not have the answer to this, but I do hope that I magnify the importance of healthy blood. Thank you.
Give the biggest twist to the entire contest, eh? Yeah. You were expecting all the negative stuff. Michaela, thank you for that enlightenment. I'm gonna comment for the very first time. No. I need to expect the negative stuff. Then there was blood, war, killing, rape, and all that. Who knows that blood type? If you don't know, please go to her. Michaela, be ready to answer all the blood types. You mentioned it in the speech, I need to tell them all. Now we're moving on.
Anbonani, Dumelani, I'm Shani. Good day. My name is Amakala Ramatela, and today I'll be presenting Lumi Secondary School. I come here as a thief to steal your attention. There are several issues or topics that would qualify for bringing the world to a standstill. One such example would be the issue of women abuse, but we seem to have missed the boat. Hence, we'll opt for the terrifying incident that currently occurred and went so viral on social media, which is the story of a girl who was kidnapped, held hostage, and raped repeatedly by numerous men. Now, let's bring it closer to and talk about what brought our world as South Africans to a standstill, which is the passing on of the mother of the nation called WAIII Mandela. Her passing on brought the world to a standstill because her fearlessness, passion, and determination touched people right across the spectrum. Whether the color, political affiliation, religious subscription, or language didn't matter. And that is why friends and foes found it befitting to forget their petty differences, but come together and be one in paying the last respect to this great daughter of the soil, who unselfishly deprived herself the great opportunity of staying in the States, or probably even working there. I mean, who turns down the great opportunity of having to work and stay in the USA? Despite having been arrested, humiliated, tortured, and interrogated numerous times, she still tirelessly and fearlessly fought, even fiercely. It was more like adding fuel to the fire. And oh yeah, she had the fire. The first wisdom is to know God, they say. And Mama WAIII was the perfect epitome of this quote. Not only was she wise, very beautiful, articulate, and outspoken. Come to think of it, if there were to be some sort of competition here where a superwoman was needed, she would be the perfect candidate. Regardless of the pain, afflictions, and hardships she endured, even when framed and accused of having killed a boy called Stompie Simping, she still came out triumphant because those who did it came out unconfessed after her death. Maybe too late, but hey, you know what they say, better late than never. Definitely true. Behind every successful and wise man is a wise woman, and there's no price for guessing the man she was behind and how successful and wise he was. This is a woman who, amongst painful challenges, never had the chance to raise her children like a normal mother. She couldn't walk them to school or even fetch them after school. As if that was not enough, she then had to face solitary confinement both inside and outside the prison walls, because even when in her home in Orlando, she still was not allowed to set foot outside. It is known that a mother and child bond is the strongest connection, and mothers get really heartbroken when detached from their children. She was then taken to Brentford, where the community was told to stay away from her because she was somehow troublesome and threatened that they would end up in trouble themselves. In the words of the great Tata Madiba, it always looks impossible until it's done. And that is what Mama WAIII managed to achieve indeed. She was the mother of the nation whose death brought the world to a standstill.